Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're zeroing in on one critical piece of AV infrastructure you sent us sources on.
Right.
It's the Aurora Multimedia DXE-CAT-RX1-4K HDBaseT receiver.
Part number DXE-CAT-RX1-4K, for those keeping track.
Exactly. And our mission here is to really unpack the design choices that make these complex long-haul video setups, well, not just reliable, but also much cleaner to install.
Yeah, it's not just a receiver, it's a whole design strategy. When you're managing commercial spaces, just getting the signal there is only half the battle.
Okay, so let's get into it. The core challenge is always distance versus quality.
Oh, wow.
How far can you actually push high bandwidth video over, a standard network cable? What's the ceiling here?
So the unit maxes out at a resolution of 4K, and this is a key detail, it's 4K at 30 hertz.
30 hertz.
Yeah, and that detail tells you immediately who this is for. It's not for, high motion cinematic stuff. It's really optimized for digital signage, corporate presentations.
Control rooms, maybe.
Perfect example. Anywhere the content is more static.
And what about 1080p? I mean, that's still the workhorse for so many installs. That's where the range really opens up, right?
Precisely. If you want that pristine 1080p at 60 hertz with the full 48-bit color, the primary stated range is 230 feet. That's over a standard C8 5E 6 or 7 cable.
So 230 feet is the baseline.
But you can push it further, up to 330 feet if you stick with a good quality size 6 cable.
Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting to me, the trade-off. What happens if you're willing to sacrifice some of that color fidelity, say down to 24-bit color?
You gain a huge amount.
How much?
You can push that signal up to 500 feet over C6.
Wow.
Yeah, you lose some cinematic nuance, sure, but for a security feed or that long digital sign where the display itself can't even show the difference, gaining an extra 170 feet is a massive strategic win for a project manager.
That choice basically dictates the entire system layout.
It really does.
Okay, so the signal can travel 500 feet, but getting that cable run installed cleanly is the next headache. Let's shift to the physical design, this patents pending feature they mentioned.
This is what I think is phenomenal. The usability. Aurora put all the connectors on a single side of the chassis.
The HDMI, the HDBaseT, all of it.
All of it. The control ports, too. Just imagine trying to fish cables into the back of a thin display mount. Having everything on one side is the difference between a 30-minute install and an hour of just pure frustration.
And speaking of simplifying the install, power is another huge pain point in the field.
Always is.
They tackled that with power over HDBaseT, but with a kind of unique twist.
The flexibility is key. So it supports PoE, yes, but you can power it with an AC adapter from either the transmitter side or the receiver side.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Because often that receiver is hidden behind a display where there's no local power outlet.
Exactly. So being able to power the entire link from the server room, from the TX side, just simplifies deployment and cuts down your points of failure.
We should also quickly mention the control features. It's got bidirectional RS-232 and IR.
And it's fully HDCP compliant, so no handshake issues with protected content.
The unit itself is tiny, under 5 inches wide, less than a pound.
And it ships with both wall mounts and a rack mount bracket. They really want this thing to be able to go anywhere you need it.
All right, let's wrap this up with the logistics for the professional buyer. This unit is TAA compliant and made in the USA.
And that TAA compliance, that's not just a nice little sticker. It's essential. It qualifies the product for government and big institutional bids where that's a requirement.
And what about the cost?
The list price is $450, but the fact that it's tariff-free, well, that translates directly to budget predictability on those big margin-sensitive projects.
Plus, you get a 5-year warranty and lifetime tech support.
Which is pretty solid.
So, when you put it all together, what does this really signify? To me, it highlights a real shift in AV infrastructure. It's not just about pushing a signal far anymore.
It really isn't. The DXE-CAT-RX1-4K shows that the actual component design things like single-sided connectors and flexible power are being prioritized to cut down complexity and labor time in the field.
Which leads to a final thought for you to chew on.
In a high-stakes commercial install, which saves you more money in the long run. Saving, say, $10 on a piece of hardware, or saving 1 hour of a technician's time and all the troubleshooting that comes after.
The design here suggests the answer is definitely labor.
Without a doubt. It's all about making the infrastructure simpler, not just cheaper.